So, what we're going to be going on very quickly, like I mentioned before the break, is simply how the acceptance aligns itself with the past. So, if you're willing to build yourself and you're looking to actually aid your progression in life, I personally, and I'm only giving this example purely because this is how I've dealt with my own past, and as you've all heard, I seem to be doing pretty well after the shit that happened, really. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that has happened in my past that I have grown quite nicely from. And Monk yourself, you know quite a few.
But you've taken the shit and you've turned it into fertilizer.
I've turned it into gold, my friend. Huh? I've turned it into gold.
Brother, if you can shit gold, you need to get a prize. And tell me what you're eating. I want to know what the vitamins are, because I want that gift myself, bro. Huh?
I mean, we're eating the same food now, pretty much, so...
What is this magical digestive system? It is the power of Reginald. It runs within him.
It is the what is it?
The Midas touch.
Midas touch, there we go.
Oh my God.
Speaking about yesterday, in fact.
Fuck.
But, anyway,
that's
we're
perfect.
Going slightly off.
But that's perfect. The Midas touch, the ability to, as the old stories go, of taking whatever shit that happened to us and turning it into gold. Whatever mistake we made and turning into something.
And that's what I was trying to put my point onto, is the fact that I've been able to use these traumatic, tough experiences in my life in the past, including the bullying, including multiple other things, heartbreaks, messed up situations. With this Midas touch, let's say, I've been able to turn these hard experiences basically into building blocks so that I can really become a much healthier person mentally and physically. And so right now, today, you all see Reginald, or as some people know me, Scotty, but I am extremely grateful for everything that's happened, and I wouldn't change a single second of my past life, purely because if it didn't and it changed, right now what I have, I wouldn't have had it, because it could have changed a whole load of things. The knock-on effects that have occurred throughout my life, they've happened for a reason, and they've led me to where I am. Now, a lot of people might not be believing in this whole concept of it's the path that we are meant to be on. Well, in a way, if you're willing to accept whatever's going on, you're accepting the fact that there is a path for you to follow. So therefore you do follow that mindset in a way, which is technically a religious mindset, because it's like, well, God has set this path for me, so I'm going to walk on this path. Therefore, whatever happens, happens. So even if you're not a religious person, but you're simply thinking, whatever happens, I'm going to go along with it because that's what's meant to be. Well, if you're discriminating on religion or even just Christianity, you're kind of contradicting yourself in a way, because that's one of the main things that God teaches people. Accept the path that you are on, because this is the one that I've set for you.
Fuck, right. It's within all the old stories of, again, embracing whatever happens, whether it's Noah who gets told of this mighty quest that he must undertake to build an ark, or Joseph who was told that while he was sitting in the dungeons of the Egyptian pharaoh, that he should in fact help the pharaoh to prepare Egypt and the surrounding lands for the 7 years of plenty and then the 7 years of hunger. Or Jesus, who on the cross, as he's being forced to drink urine and vinegar, and he's got the crown of thorns on his head, and he has this Roman soldier that came up and stabbed him in his side, and then he has the two thieves next to him, one of which says, so where's your God now? Where's your God now, Messiah? You on your cross. And all these figures throughout history were like, or at least within the biblical context, were embracing the challenge that was put before them. And only through embracing that challenge were they able to to almost click into gear in a way, almost to unlock a new set of gears that they never previously had access to, just because they had to be able to say, this is what's happening now, this is what's in front of me, this is the problem, now what's the solution?
Exactly.
Something we need to
learning that acceptance.
Yeah.
And some people might believe it's extremely hard to understand acceptance or even comprehend accepting failure or past rejection, anything like that, because it's a traumatic experience. However, if you learn to sort of just say to yourself, yeah, that's happened, now how am I going to deal with it? It's almost going to be a switch which you're going to be turning on. And I'm not saying this as a preach to say you need to be doing this. This is simply my own advice from how I've dealt with it personally, and it has worked. So I encourage you to try it. I'm not saying it will work, I'm not saying it's foolproof, but I know for myself it worked very, very well. So therefore I encourage you to try it out, and if it does work, I'm very, very happy, because that means it allows you to move on and actually move further with your life, because you're now using those traumatic experiences as building blocks to slowly push yourself onto a platform that you are capable of being on.